This is the CNIB podcast.
Welcome to CNIB Lake Joe on the go, Lake Joe on the go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to CNIB Lake Joe on the go, the podcast where we keep things short and sweet so you can listen if you're at home or if you're on the go. I am your host, Taylor G. I'm also a CNIB Lake Joe staff, and I am super excited for today's episode because we are going to be talking about friendship at Lake Joe. Today on this episode, we have David, Jess, and Roxanne. I'm super excited for them to share their experiences with you. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, my name is Roxanne. Really happy for this podcast.
I'm happy to have you here.
Hey everybody, I'm Jess. I've been coming to camp since I was little. I used to be a camper with a rented camp, and I started volunteering. And I'm from Ontario, Canada.
Hello, my name is David. I am 12 and I'm from Castor, Alberta, and this year is my first year coming to CNIB Lake Joe.
Your first year, that's incredible.
Yeah,
That's great to hear. Well, welcome to the Lake Joe family.
thank you.
Lake Joe is super special because when you go, you get to meet so many different kinds of people and form all these new kinds of relationships. So I was hoping to get to hear from each of you about your experience making friends at camp. I think each of you have a very unique set of experiences. David, you mentioned this was your first summer, so I'm really looking forward to hearing about what you got to do this summer. So yeah, would you like to share your experiences on making friends at Lake Joe and what that was like?
So as I mentioned, I've been going to Lake Joe for a while now, and I have friends from when I was really little that we still chat on Facebook and Messenger and, text each other, to having camp staff from when I was little become my boss when I was volunteering, and all through that, my friend. So definitely unique. And I have friends from recent years that, again, we chat on Facebook and we text each other and send each other pictures.
That's super cool. How long, I used to know this, how many years have you been going to Lake Joe now, like collectively in your experience?
Ooh, I'm gonna sound old to you.
Yeah.
I've been going since the 1990s.
Wow, that's incredible. So you really have had quite the experience with meeting new people and making lots of friends at camp.
Yes.
All right, David, I cannot wait to hear what you have to say about the friends that you've made at camp.
Yeah, I had so much fun this year. I met so many good people and such kind staff at CNIB Lake Joe. I couldn't even pick my favorites because they're all so great people. And I met a couple friends. One actually lives nearby, and we are trying to stay in contact, but my summer has been pretty busy, so I haven't had much time, but I've made plenty of friends at Lake Joe.
That's so awesome. And what I have to say about that is what's really, really cool about Lake Joe is that even though you might not get to see your friends throughout the year, what's really awesome is that when you get to go back to camp, you get to be with them again. And it is just so, so awesome and so cool to experience. But it's cool that you have a friend that lives close by. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Roxanne, do you want to share some experiences with your friendships at camp?
Yeah, my experience with Lake Joe was amazing. I went up to camp this summer and I made a lot of friends and met new people, and I just had a ball there. And I always like meeting new people, and I think it's really important that we all try and bond with people, because that's how we build different relationships and different friendships, and friendship's so important.
For sure. How long have you been going to Lake Joe, Roxanne?
Me, oh gosh, it's been so long now. I like miscount.
So you've also had the chance to meet lots of people, make awesome friends.
But I have I have a bit of both. Like I have it's mixed. So like I had this year I went up, and then I still have the online thing that have to on Zoom with the CNIB. So I always look forward to that because I get to meet with my friends that way, and it's fun, and I like certain special events, and I like engaging with people, and I like the feeling of being included and including others, because it's really important to include others. No one deserves to feel left out.
You made some really awesome points there, Roxanne. I think having virtual camp, like some of the programs that we run, is really cool too, because like I mentioned, a lot of times you make these really awesome friends at camp, but maybe they live like far away from you, and you only get to see them once a year.
Far.
Yeah.
They live really far. I made one friend at camp, and she lives really far, but we kept in touch over on Facebook.
Yeah. Well, that's the cool thing about the internet and having virtual camp as well, as we all can be together throughout the year as well. I kind of want to move into my next question, because I think that you all will have some valuable points. I'm curious to know, based on your experience, how you think making friends at Lake Joe is different than making friends in your everyday life outside of camp, or what makes your friends at Lake Joe different than your everyday friends at home?
One of the things you've already actually mentioned was that even if you don't get to see your friend or talk to very much throughout the year, you get to go back to camp at the same time. You get to hang out with them, and it's depending on like your friendship and stuff, that time has not passed at all. I really like that.
You said it perfectly. Like when you get to see your friends again, it's like no time has passed, and I think that is so special. So that's a really, really fantastic point, Jess.
Thanks. And to answer your actual question, I think the difference between Lake Joe friends and like not Lake Joe friends is that depending on like go up, you might meet someone that's very similar to you, versus everyday friends are awesome too, but they could be very different from you.
It's true.
Going with Jess's idea, there in usual everyday lives, you don't usually meet people that are very similar to you. Like I have a condition called albinism, and it's so rare to see people in my area with albinism. I'm the only albino in a very large area, and then I go to Lake Joe and I find at least 5 other albinos who can relate to my condition, and that's another way that it's different from everyday lives to CNIB Lake Joe.
David, I can actually relate to you on this one. I actually have a condition. I also have vision loss, and my condition is called Stargardt's. And I didn't know anybody in my life. I didn't know any blind people in general, to be honest. But when I got to go to Lake Joe, I got to meet the very first person that I ever got to meet with the same condition as me. And that is just such a special experience to have. And like you said, that's a really cool part about Lake Joe. You get to meet people that are just like you, and in different ways also, and being able to connect on that level. I'm really happy that you shared that story. I think that is very relatable to a lot of people that get to go to Lake Joe. So thank you for sharing.
Yes.
The difference between my Lake Joe friends and my home friends is that I guess because I'm out in the countryside and I don't get to do that very often, right? It's like a once in a lifetime opportunity for me. So when I go back to Lake Joe, I'm seeing people that I haven't seen for a while, and that's just like a really good experience. Like, it's a great learning experience to, be out in the wilderness and to kind of just be away from the city and get away from the drama, because I don't know, I just can't take drama. I just like being where it's peaceful sometimes. It allows you to just be yourself, and it allows you to be with your friends, and it allows you to bond with people.
Yeah, so would it be fair to say that Lake Joe really gave you the opportunity to make those
Lake Joe really gave me the opportunity because, like, I got to do things that I probably can't do here that I can do there. Like, I got to swim, and then I also got to go tubing, which I've never done before in my whole entire life. So I was so excited for that, and I did that twice, not once, but twice.
I think to what you're saying, I think what's really cool about Lake Joe is that it provides all of these cool learning opportunities to learn how to do these camp activities as people who are blind or partially sighted, among other challenges as well. And being able to learn those things and to be able to take part in those things with people that can understand your journey and relate to your journey is just really, really cool and almost euphoric to experience, quite honestly. My next question is, if you could tell the people that are listening to this podcast right now anything about making friends at Lake Joe and what you've learned, whether it's your first time at Lake Joe or if you've been going for years, what do you want people to know about making friends at Lake Joe?
Lake Joe is a very special place, and your friendships there are very special, and they're very meaningful, and they are very deep friendships. And part of that is because you're learning new things, as Roxanne says, and you're learning with these activities and new skills with people that are very similar to you, and differences. But there's connections at Lake Joe that will never be broken.
Well, the camp itself is just so friendly, so easy to make friends at Lake Joe, because everyone's so positive and friendly, especially the counselors. I really envy them because they stay positive through the entire day, through every activity. They stay super positive through everything. When the rest of us, it's so hard, and I really envy them that they can stay super positive. This is super easy to make friends at Lake Joe because everyone who's there, they just want to make friends because it's so different, because you finally find people who are similar to you, and then you just want to make friends with them. And it's so easy because everyone's so positive. Camp's just so fun and so friendly.
I want them to know that it's a great place to go. And like I said, the minute you get there, you might not want to go home, and you might want to stay longer. And it's just like, I don't know, it's a very special place. I honestly, when I had to go home, I was a bit sad because I wanted to stay as long as I could.
Well, it sounds like, based on our conversation today, that Lake Joe, really, the magic of the place is a perfect opportunity to make friends. It's a perfect place to make friends because of the positivity, like David said, and the connections we're able to make and the bonds we're able to form with the activities that we're doing. It's just a wonderful place with wonderful opportunities to make some beautiful connections. Are there any final thoughts that anyone would like to share before I close out the episode? Anything more you want to say, or anything you wished you added before?
Hey Roxanne, Jess here. I just wanted to say that I've been going to camp for many years now, and I still feel that way. I get excited when I get close to camp, and I get slightly sad when I have to leave camp. But
Yeah.
I know I'll be back again.
Camp's just so friendly. I'm kind of sad because I live all the way across Canada, and I just want to go back every single year. It's so friendly there and so awesome.
Well, I'm so happy that camp makes you so happy. Camp will definitely be happy to have you back, David. I want to thank all three of you for being here today. You guys shared some wonderful stories and some absolutely wonderful points that I think a lot of us can relate to. And thank you to our listeners for listening to this episode. I hope that you have been convinced to go to Lake Joe to make some friends, because it is the place to go and make friends. Yeah, and until next time, I am Taylor G. And yeah, let's say goodbye, guys.
Bye.
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 Lake Joe wanna go. Lake Joe wanna go.
For more CNIB podcasts, visit cnib.ca/podcasts.